All right, so we've set up 4 games. Our first game is going to be the White Knight. White Knight, Woods Girl, the Sorcerer, and the Berserker. So sort of an interesting crew here. It's all pretty heavy hitters. I mean, the Woods Girl is light, but she actually holds her own pretty well in most scenarios. In fact, she's one of the more powerful characters in the game, being able to run from everything and kill everything, which is sort of a rare mix. By everything, I mean everything but, the fastest things on the board, octopus, imps, bats under certain circumstances, etc. So this is our board. It's fairly open. The only thing here I can see is maybe this guy being a choke point. And sort of this, the caves being sort of a rough haul for our guys up north here. So otherwise, it is fairly open, with there being a pretty short overall distance between the chapel, the guard, and the house. The inn is sort of the odd man out here, isolated up to the north. The sorcerer can connect it up by enchanting the pine woods. So we're going to just set up here and prepare ourselves for the game, which will start later on today. So let's get quests. So White Knight, Diplomat, Sacrifice, and Locksmith. Locksmith appears in the High Pass. Where is the High Pass? I mean, that could be pretty easy, actually, to get to. You might keep it. End your day here. You get a VP and a set of keys. That's pretty easy. Sacrifice is take a treasure to the chapel, altar, shrine, monastery, or rift. And goblins are meat goblins. I think we keep all of those. And locksmith. And at that point, we roll a die. We get a 6, and so the locksmith, we will put one of these. Locksmith is in High Pass 6, which is there. So actually, it's not too long a jaunt to get that, and he'll get a set of keys, which he doesn't super need, but it's a pretty easy VP. So I think the White Knight keeps those, and there we go. We'll write those. Done. The goblins is nice because that's one thing he can't run from and doesn't like to fight is a bunch of goblins. And so that is a super quick way to avoid that stack. Woods Girl gets Cursebreaker, Troll Slayer, and Bridge Magic. Not a big fan of Cursebreaker generally. It is the easiest to fix here, easier to fix here than it is in most games because the chapel is just right on this main thoroughfare, which I think every character is going to find themselves on at some point here. Troll Slayer is fine. Bridge Magic might be fine. She's going to cross one bridge very simply. It really depends on whether you're on the right side of the bridges or not. Like she's on the wrong side of this one, as you can see, but the correct side of this one. She needs to do 3 bridges I suppose the chapel is the second bridge. But that third bridge actually is a little bit escapes are a little bit. Like, what's the third bridge that you would get? I suppose it is this valley here with the guard, the bad valley, and you'd have to maneuver through the borderlands. I think we ditched Cursebreaker because Cursebreaker requires you to get cursed. No guarantee you're going to get cursed. So we ditched Cursebreaker. One way to get cursed would be to try to learn a spell, of course, which you could. And then do we want to get rid of bridge magic just because, how do you get that last bridge? And I'm going to say, and it's super powerful what you get. You get a charm which lets you walk the woods over a bridge to change directions on a bridge path, and then breaks on a 6. So it's a very powerful relic that you get. So it's always worth at least taking a look and trying for. I suppose she could do the Cursed Valley also. It's down here. I mean, that's more of a long-term one, but she'll keep it. So we're going to ditch Cursebreaker. We're going to draw a new quest for that, a dig in the ruins. So we'll take that. So she gets Troll Slayer, Bridge, Magic, and she has 3 bridges to cross, and finally, Dig Site, what I call it here to save my typing. That's in the ruins. She's going to roll it. It's in ruins 4. So she is going to put this in ruins 4. And that's that. So his is high pass 6. Hers is ruin 4. And good to go. I think we got 2 of our characters settled with their initial quests. The Sorcerer, who is going for Fiery Blast, Transform, Melt in the Mist. So he's just going all out, right? He's got Transform for singles, Fiery Blast for multiples, Melt in the Mist is his escape route. No one else can enchant a tile, so he doesn't have to worry about that. The only problem is, because I think you always have 2 ways to go with the Sorcerer. Either you assume you're going to do all purple, you're just going to enchant it, and you don't take Melt in the Mist. Or you do. And in this case, he did. It's the freebie escape. It's so good. Let's get him his quest cards and see. So he has Ghost Hunter, so kill the ghosts. Danger Sense is a free alert. That's actually super useful for him. And then Envoy, trade with an ally, and then a neutral. And he's got or unfriendly. Yeah, okay. So he's got a couple of those. So I think he keeps those. I think Ghost Hunter is the crappiest one. Let's take a quick look. Yeah, the ghosts are actually here. I mean, he can certainly get there. Danger Sense is super nice because that is a Fiery Blast readied instantly. Envoy is a little bit luck-based, but if the company Bashcars or Lancers show, then that's one half of it. And he's got the rogues. He starts there, so that's the second. Yeah, we've sort of changed Envoy that one group has to be friendly or allied, the other group can be otherwise. Just because it's hard to find. Some characters have a hard time finding 2 friendly groups. So we loosened it up. It's one friendly or allied group. The other group can be any relation, not enemy. And there you go. Do you keep Ghost Hunter or do you get a second thing? I think we're going to drop Ghost Hunter and get something else. Looking for something maybe that doesn't take him across. You can't take 2 envoys. Lucky day. That sucks a little bit for him. And the reason is it's just not a lot of points in his hand now. He has a single point in his hand. And 2 events. Events are great, but they do displace points. I don't love it for him. So he needs to use that super fast. And now the Berserker. The Berserker ends up with Sacrifice also. So Bury the Dead, Bones W, and then Pub Crawl. I mean, Sacrifice is fine. Bury the Dead is Bones W. So it could be here. It could be here. These are so he's three woods close to him of the 5. So a pretty good chance that Bones W is going to appear in one of those 3. I think we'll keep it. Pub Crawl's interesting because usually I drop it, but in this case, I think I'll still drop it just because you're sort of relying on the Sorcerer to make that easier for you. So I'm going to drop Pub Crawl, assuming the Sorcerer is not going to necessarily go out of their way to help me with this tile. And then, Thief. Oh, excuse me, Thief. If the patrol show up, because he has patrol and guard he's unfriendly with. The Berserker's not the greatest thief because he does not actually that, but patrol and guard. Sacrifice will probably get out. Bury the Dead in Bones W, and then Thief. So those are his 3 quests to start. That's pretty cool. I think we're in good shape here. And then let's finish out this quick session with the first 3 events for the first week. And we get the Archmage's Tower, the Lost Crone, and a Dead Adventurer. So we're going to put the Crone here. Mage Tower somewhere. Where is our Magey Tower? Did we not make a Mage Tower? Oh, there it is. I don't know why it's out of order. And then a Dead Adventurer. Done. So we have our 3 guys here. The tower appears in a random clearing. The tower appears in 10-3, Ruins 3. Done. The Lost Crone goes to a random. 7-4, High Pass 4. And then the Dead Adventure is also in a random clearing, and it is in Ruins 5. So a lot of action in the Ruins. Wow. Let's just give points to the Knight. Why don't we? Let's just do that. What the hell? So, a pretty good start for the White Knight. He's going to have the early advantage here, I think, in points. Because you can pick up that Dead Adventure and just return to the chapel, and you are golden. And the same thing with the Mage Tower. Now, the Mage Tower has a little bit of diciness to it since you were going to have potentially an attack to get in. All right. I think that's it for let's save the game here. So let's overwrite the game. And we are saved and we are ready to go for our first week. I definitely think the White Knight has the edge here. I think the Sorcerer and the Berserker are sort of in the worst position because they're in the worst position in the board, of course. But, but also the Sorcerer, just his card draw is not that great. The Berserker's card draw is fine, but not as good, I would argue, as, I think everybody has a little weakness there. I think the White Knights is generally the best, with Sacrifice being the worst card because you have to uncover, get a treasure, and B, uncover one of those sites. The Knight has the advantage there because he starts on the chapel. Done. So, I think that's where we're going to be. I think the White Knight has the early lead here, the early in. We're going to start this. These games are going to take a while, of course, because we're doing a lot of stuff. A lot of crap on channel, a little too much, I think, but that's but oh well. Too bad. And it takes about 4 sessions to get these done. Each session is probably about 2 hours. There you go. That's where I'm at. So figure 8 hours per game, and you'll get probably one of these a week as we slog through with the rest of the stuff we're doing in a given week. So that's it. I will talk to you all later, and you have a good